today on. It's on, man. With the battery don't low. Jesus, means I'm not charged. Where your charger? For this Bluetooth. Person at the battery low. How many percent? But how is it make this thing? Oh God.
How they charge you so?
Let me recharge down.
Why you use that one? You use that one for? You have the charge for? How many is that? 70.
So let's.
Don't connect. Don't connect.
Suppose now. It's connected now.
Don't put it here.
Please let me know if you can hear me. Oh. I've tried to fix the sound from my own end. I don't know. Please, I need feedback. So let me know if you can hear me now. Kindly give me feedback. Let me know if you can hear me. So I'm going to try to request someone. Okay. Oyemike said she can hear me now. So okay. So let's do this. Mr. Kolawole, can we try and go at it again? Can we go at it again? Let's see. Can we go at it again and let's see. I'm trying to. So are we good now? All right. Welcome to the show.
Shame on the devil.
You said?
I said shame on the devil now.
Shame on the devil. Devil don't shame. So, like I was trying to, prepping the audience before. Like I was prepping the audience before you came on. We want to let's quickly talk about the proposed amendment of the EFCC Act 2004, with the major concern about how the EFCC will be put under the direct control of the Attorney General of the Federation. Your office, your organization, SERAP, had written the president, warning him about your concern. So, can we just know your concern in few words?
It's more like expressing our concern, not warning. But all the same, it's a point of view. That, of course, we all know for agencies like the EFCC to work as they ought to, they must be independent, not only in law, but in practice. And we've not seen that over the years, even since inception. And to further empower the Attorney General to have such controls, which, of course, it nominally has under the EFCC Act as it is now, is not in the interest of the fight against corruption. We need a vibrant, truly independent EFCC to be able to do their work. And that is why we've taken that initiative to write to the president to use his powers to ensure that the EFCC Act is not amended, at least not in line of what we've seen as stated by the public statement from the PACA about the proposed amendment to the EFCC.
Okay, but there is this concern as well that, for instance, because the major concern out there is politicization or the chance that it might be politicized in terms of running the affairs of EFCC if it is put under the Attorney General. What if the office of the Attorney General is separated from that of the Minister of Justice?
And that's one of the things that the Nigerians have been clamoring for, and the Serap have been on the front foot of this too for a while. But that would still not answer the question of having a truly independent and vibrant EFCC, anti-corruption agency that can do its work. But separating the office of the Minister of Justice from that of the Attorney General, it will be a welcome development. And it would remove the strictures that we've seen in the operations of Section 174 of the Constitution, where the Attorney General, being the chief law officer, is also a political appointee. And that does not give the required objectivity to direct, to work in that capacity as the chief law officer. So that would be a good way to start. But that would not necessarily confer that independence that we require from the EFCC to do its work. The EFCC must not only be headed by someone that is truly independent, its key officers and operatives must be independent in both the way they do their work in investigating and even prosecution. And that is what we must have before we can have a vibrant anti-corruption drive that Nigeria has professed over the years.
All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly go into the, okay, before we go into the next one. So should there be an amendment at all on the EFCC Act? What would you like to see change in the amendment?
If there is to be an amendment at all, or in the EFCC Act, it is to strengthen that. Yes, it is to strengthen that agency. For instance, look at the powers of sections 1 and 2 as to the appointment of the leadership of the EFCC, and that again speaks to the tenure of office and reappointment and removal. Those are the things that we should be talking about, not necessarily placing that the EFCC under the control of a political appointee. So if there's going to be any amendment at all, it is to further strengthen the agency. And independence is the key way to strengthen any agencies of government.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Kolawole. Let's quickly go to the next issue now. The increments in tariff, NEPA lights, electricity bill, as well as you know, if you never call a NEPA,
we go take your light or we go off your mic.
they don't even take her. They don't take her. So the increment in tariff, electricity, and the increment or consistent increment over time now of fuel price, petrol, for instance. Your organization has also written and taken a position on it. We hear that labor is going to down to from Monday. Can we understand what exactly is going on from your position and your stand? What exactly is going on?
Well, we had issued a public statement advising the president to top the idea. And to me, I would say that forget the rhetorics and the big figures being bandied around, which has a tendency to confuse the average Nigerian who doesn't understand anyway. He's hungry and he cannot understand the dynamics and the economic principles being touted back and forth. But what he can understand are the basics that he needs to survive as a citizen in Nigeria. We are talking of food, we are talking of shelter, and we're talking of security. And those are the basics: education, health. And in the midst of COVID-19, in the midst of a pandemic, which we are yet to come out of anyway, and including the looming recession, this is not the time, if at all, that we should have an increase in anything like a core substance, that the resources that all Nigerians need, like petrol and electricity. And so look that when you put that side by side against the context of what we have as a budget, for instance, and our redeeming revenues, which government has touted as the reason for doing this, it does not stand to reason. So we have a huge gap in deficit in our budget, over 2 trillion. And we have huge expenses being wasted in governance. We can start from pensions to ex-governors, for instance. Being paid for more than 22 states in Nigeria are paying pensions to former governors who spend an average of 4 to 8 years and add huge sums of money, which even the average civil servant who spent 30 years in service cannot earn. Then we talk about security votes, funds that are not constitutional but are being paid across all levels of government. So if we start from saving funds from those instances, then it answers the question of revenue, dwindling revenue resources. Even look at the revised budget that we had the government do. Look at the huge allocation to the National Assembly. It was 128 billion naira in the next 2020 budget. After revision, it amounted to 150 billion naira. And that's aside from the 39 billion naira budgeted to renovate that same building. So this, yes, the excuses given of dwindling resources does not justify this, and not now. When Nigerians are soft, the latest report estimated over 82 million Nigerians living in poverty. What happens to those Nigerians who can barely live by the indices that govern their economic status? And we have a state where the provisions that should cushion the effect of this in Chapter 2 of the Constitution have been said to be not justiciable. So they look good in print, but in the reality, it does not do anything for the citizens. And that is the major reason why this increase, either in the pump price of petrol, given the technical name of the regulation, or the increase in the electricity tariff, should not stand. Where is the power, by the way? Which reminds me, when you started this discourse, you said something about making sense of the whole thing. And I laughed because even I really can't make sense of it. But it will be interesting to hear Nigerians try to make sense of it. And I'm here to learn.
Okay, so talking about making sense now, I want to get a balance from your own perspective as Sarah. Are we saying we prefer that because government have come out to say the only reason why price of petrol has been cheap, even electricity, is because they've been subsidizing it over time. Now they are taking it away because they don't have the money to do that. So are we saying we prefer that they continue subsidizing but cut down on unnecessary expenses on governance? Is that what we are saying? That at least for now.
If the argument
Now,
Can't hear you.
Take your own now.
Or is it only me? Okay, no sound again.
No, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, okay.
Yes.
You can hear me now. I can hear you too.
Yeah.
So are we good now? All right. Welcome to the show.
Shame on the devil.
You said?
I say shame on the devil now.
Shame on the devil. Devil don't shame. So, like I was trying to, prepping the audience before, like I was prepping the audience before you came on. We want to, let's quickly talk about the proposed amendment of the EFCC Act 2004. With the major concern about how the EFCC will be put under the direct control of the Attorney General of the Federation. Your office, your organization, SERAP, had written the president, warning him about your concern. So, can we just know your concern in few words?
It's more like expressing our concern, not warning. But all the same, it's a point of view. That, of course, we all know for agencies like the EFCC to work as they ought to, they must be independent, not only in law but in practice. And we've not seen that over the years, even since inception. And to further empower the Attorney General to have such controls, which of course it nominally has under the EFCC Act as it is now, is not in the interest of the fight against corruption. We need a vibrant, truly independent EFCC to be able to do their work. And that is why we've taken that initiative to write to the president to use his powers to ensure that the EFCC Act is not amended, at least not in line of what we've seen as stated by the public statement from the PACA about the proposed amendment to the EFCC.
Okay, but there is this concern as well that, for instance, because the major concern out there is politicization or the chance that it might be politicized in terms of running the affairs of EFCC if it is put under the Attorney General. What if the office of the Attorney General is separated from that of the Minister of Justice?
And that's one of the things that the Nigerians have been clamoring for, and the Serap have been at the forefront of this too for a while. But that would still not answer the question of having a truly independent and vibrant EFCC, anti-corruption agency that can do its work. But separating the office of the Minister of Justice from that of the Attorney General, it will be a welcome development. And it would remove the strictures that we've seen in the operations of Section 174 of the Constitution, where the Attorney General, being the chief law officer, is also a political appointee. And that does not give the required objectivity to direct, to work in that capacity as the chief law officer. So that would be a good way to start. But that would not necessarily confer that independence that we require from the EFCC to do its work. The EFCC must not only be headed by someone that is truly independent, its key officers and operatives must be independent in both the way they do their work in investigating and even prosecution. And that is what we must have before we can have a vibrant anti-corruption drive that Nigeria has professed over the years.
All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly go into the, okay, before we go into the next one. So should there be an amendment at all on the EFCC Act? What would you like to see change in the amendment?
If there's to be an amendment at all, or in the EFCC Act, it is to strengthen that. Yes, it is to strengthen that agency. For instance, to look at the powers of sections 1 and 2 as to the appointment of the leadership of the EFCC, and that again speaks to the tenure of office and reappointment and removal. Those are the things that we should be talking about, not necessarily placing that the EFCC under the control of a political appointee. So if there's going to be any amendment at all, it is to further strengthen the agency. And independence is the key way to strengthen any agencies of government.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Kolawole. Let's quickly go to the next issue now. The increments in tariff, NEPA light, electricity bill, as well as, you know, if you never call a NEPA,
we go take your light, or we go off your mic.
they don't even take her. They don't take her. So the increment in tariff, electricity, and the increment or consistent increment over time now of fuel price, petrol, for instance. Your organization has also written and taken a position on it. We hear that labor is going to down to from Monday. Can we understand what exactly is going on from your position and your stand? What exactly is going on?
Well, we had issued a public statement advising the president to top their care. And to me, I would say that forget the rhetorics and the big figures being bandied around, which has a tendency to confuse the average Nigerian who doesn't understand anyway. He's hungry and he cannot understand the dynamics and the economic principles being touted back and forth. But what he can understand are the basics that he needs to survive as a citizen in Nigeria. We are talking of food, we are talking of shelter, and we're talking of security. And those are the basics: education, health. And in the midst of COVID-19, in the midst of a pandemic, which we are yet to come out of anyway, and including the looming recession, this is not the time, if at all, that we should have an increase in anything like a core substance, that the resources that all Nigerians need, like petrol and electricity. And so look that when you put that side by side against the context of what we have as a budget, for instance, and our redeeming revenues, which government has touted as the reason for doing this, it does not stand to reason. So we have a huge gap in deficit in our budget, over 2 trillion. And we have huge expenses being wasted in governance. We can start from pensions to ex-governors, for instance. Being paid for more than 22 states in Nigeria are paying pensions to former governors who spend an average of 4 to 8 years and add huge sums of money, which even the average civil servant who spent 30 years in service cannot earn. Then we talk about security votes. Funds that are not constitutional but are being paid across all levels of government. So if we start from saving funds from those instances, then it answers the question of dwindling revenue resources. Even look at the revised budget that we had the government do. Look at the huge allocation to the National Assembly. It was 128 billion in the next 2020 budget. After revision, it amounted to 150 billion naira, and that's aside from the 39 billion naira budgeted to renovate that same building. So this, yes, the excuses given of dwindling resources does not justify this, and not now. When Nigerians are soft, the latest report estimated over 82 million Nigerians living in poverty. What happens to those Nigerians who can barely live by the indices that govern their economic status? And we have a state where the provisions that should cushion the effect of this in Chapter 2 of the Constitution have been said to be not justiciable. So they look good in print, but in the reality, it does not do anything for the citizens. And that is the major reason why this increase, either in the pump price of petrol, given the technical name of the regulation, or the increase in the electricity tariff, should not stand. Where is the power, by the way? Which reminds me, when you started this discourse, you said something about making sense of the whole thing. And I laughed, because even I really can't make sense of it. But it will be interesting to hear Nigerians try to make sense of it, and I'm here to learn.
Okay, so talking about making sense now, I want to get a balance from your own perspective as Sarah. Are we saying we prefer that, because government have come out to say the only reason why price of petrol has been cheap, even electricity, is because they've been subsidizing it over time. Now they are taking it away because they don't have the money to do that. So are we saying we prefer that they continue subsidizing but cut down on unnecessary expenses on governance? Is that what we are saying? That at least for now.
If the argument of government is dwindling resources, according to them, to subsidize these basic needs of Nigerians, which is the essence of government in the first place, I have pointed to that as a viable solution of saving much needed funds to run the Nigerian state in the interest of the people. It is when we have seen government demonstrate this will by cutting down on waste and unnecessary resources, then we can begin to have a conversation about whether there is any need at all, if at all, to even remove the subsidy in these critical areas. Because what this will do is to make Nigerians poorer. And since there are no mechanism in government to stop the rich from getting richer, it stands to reason that the rich will continue to get richer and the poor will continue to get poorer. In the absence of any fail-safe mechanism to even protect the poor, either from COVID-19 as the pandemic has shown us, or from the vagaries of various things that affect the common man. Security is a good one. Education. We have food, health, and we have a government that has revised the budget and cut more than 25% of capital expenditure on health in a pandemic. So where is that money being put to? And so it's the question that should be answered is: do we need this now? Do we need this at all? Where are the huge revenues that come to government? How has it been spent?
Okay, now let's quickly touch on a long-term solution to this problem. For instance, fuel scarcity, the fuel thing. The long-term solution to it is having working and efficient refineries, local refineries here. So, talking about right now, is having refineries the right of any citizen? We are talking right now. I'm just trying to be on a lighter note now. Is it our right to have refineries? Oh wow, the network thing again. Oh. So I was going to ask Mr. Kolawole if, because their work is about standing and speaking and defending the right of the citizens of the country, Nigeria, for instance, because this is where they operate. So if having a refinery is our right, is it right to now ask the government to at least help us fix it? Because it seems like it's not even in any list. If they are bringing out the list of the rights that Nigerians have, I don't think refinery, from the way it has been, okay, from the way it has appeared over time, I don't think having a working refinery is the right of any Nigerian. I think it is not. Correct me if I'm wrong. I stand to be corrected. So, Mr. Kolawole.
Hello, Oyemike, can you hear me?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Can you hear me now? Okay.
I can hear you in bits and pieces, if I can call it that. You asked about your right to own your refinery. Yes, you are Nigerian citizens. The Constitution guarantees you the right to own property.
Right for
movable property in any.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, is it our right for the country to have working refineries?
Hello.
You can't hear me? Wow. Wow. Okay, so while waiting for Sarah to come back on board, can we just continue the conversation? At least you guys you followed us so far. If you have anything to contribute or you have a contrary opinion, can we just okay, Erudite Sheung is requesting to join. Let's see. Let me see. I'm bringing Erudite Sheung on, waiting for him to connect, and then let's hear what he has to say. All right, Erudite Sheung, welcome to the show. Sheung, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Wow. Sheung, yes, can you hear me? I think Sheung is also Shehu is having a bit of network issue. Super busy. I see you. HRM online, you join. Thank you. So please join the conversation. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's see if you have a contrary opinion to what Mr. Kolawole of Serap has shared, or you think it otherwise. Let's know. Because the reason why I was asking about the right, if as Nigerians we have the right to have efficient and working refineries. The reason why I asked that question is because it can't be like say we go to beg for this thing. So we know whether if now our right to or not be our right to, we just know where we dey. And I'm asking that question because I know that is their core job. Fight for our rights. So Mr. Kolawole, welcome back.
Yes. Yes.
So you can hear me now?
Yes, clearly.
So can you just make your, can you give us
you were
an
saying
answer
something about the whether we, yes, the primary purpose of government is the welfare security of the citizen. So if that would come by the state which by law owns its resources, by the way, and mines and puts it to use in the interest of citizens. If the state can have refineries that run, or private individuals have refineries that run, those are not really the issues. The issues are that these resources, whether below ground or above ground, are put to the use of the interest of Nigerians who should be able to afford it. That is the key component. And so whether by public or private, Nigerians must have easy and cheap access to either power or the resources derived from petroleum. And Oyemike, I wouldn't be surprised. If you can afford it, you can always have a refinery. We can always ask you who is bankrolling you anyway, and you must answer us.
Maybe I'll start from having one at the back of my local government. You know, I'm from Delta State, so I hope they won't call it illegal refinery because you know, as long as we refine things. So you know why I asked that question, Mr. Kolawole? The reason why I asked that question is, I wish your organization is there. Oh, I think there is network issue with Mr. Kolawole's connection again. I will drop the question, and I hope you get to hear me then answer it. The organization Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project. Can we have? Do you have any future plan of helping us fight for that right to be actualized? Because it seems like, you know, before this government came on board, they campaigned seriously around issues concerning refineries, as well as ensuring us that they will do it in no time. The refineries will be fixed in no time. It doesn't cost anything to fix the refinery. Here we have to, because I remember the 2012 Occupy Nigeria, the invasion of Ojota. Part of the issues were why are our refineries not working? And a lot of the people who pioneered that movement are in power today. So I want to believe that ordinarily these things should have been done, or at least near a completion stage. Yet, it just can't be like say, that time we get those refineries in a mistake, so that they don't come wake up and realize, yeah, these people not supposed to get this thing. Now I'm hearing that they are building one refinery at the border between Nigeria and Niger. I hope we are the owner of that refinery, because it's just common logic. If you are constructing a railway to hit Marabi in Niger Republic, and you are saying the reason is because there is a refinery between the border that you want to, for which you want to be lifting crude from Niger into. So that means it must be our own, or it must be in our interest. What do I know? I'm just thinking. So please join me, join the conversation. Let's talk about it. This SpringNet, I see you. Big Voice Boss, thank you for joining. Oladipo Okale, I see you. Shehu Kedi, thank you for joining. Please, let's comment. Let's say what we have to say. Your voice is needed at this point. We need it strong. We need it here now. Put your voice on this matter. Anthony underscore Adeniji. Welcome to the show. This is Citizens Open Mic, put together, of course, brought to you by EIE Nigeria. Enough is enough, Nigeria. Let's talk about this. Please, I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting. Of course, the section is not just for Serap to contribute alone or to a discussion with Serap alone. You and I too we have to talk. So come online. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to be requesting. It's even better you request yourself because you are the one that wants to talk. This is where you have to put your voice. So let's hear your voice now. You don't know the angel where they pass. So like they say, speak or say amen. You don't know the angel where they pass. This is the time for you to say amen to these things, because when you talk, I talk, everybody talk, we are getting closer to the way forward or the way out or a solution, as you like, whichever way you want to put it. Some people will talk, say, we don't talk since, all this talk we talk, how many years? Talk, we don't say anything. Well, if you think say we don't say anything, maybe you need to think again, because the way we did now, if not be say people they talk, imagine I for B. We dey talk, oh, now it still be like this. So come imagine say we not dey talk, say we don't keep quiet. Oh Bob. maybe me and you for don't see ourselves for which country even near us pass. No, Ghana na like we did Ghana already, we don't occupy Ghana already. But don't see ourselves for like Somalia. But all the Congo now, you know. The rebel's mind, I see you. I would like you to join the conversation. Let's talk about what we have been discussing. Make we talk. Let me try and invite somebody. I want to see if you will come online. Let's see if you will come online. Yemi Grace, I'm inviting you. Yemi A. Grace, I'm calling you already. Let's see. Or she not available. Let's see. Some people will say, okay. You say you don't send requests to join. Hey, I don't invite you, and you know, I invite you now. The thing not clear now. Yes, I invited you. I invited you. I saw your, but it wasn't clear. I invited you. I thought we were going to even have. You can request again. Let's give it another try. Erudaiche wants to join. Okay, so please let's go. I would like to have you. I want to have you here. Please, Erudaiche, send your request to Erudaiche. Erudaiche, yes. I'm inviting him already. Let me invite Erudaiche again. Make I invite Erudaiche again. Make I see whether he go connect. Yes. I'm calling Erudaiche now, so let me hear what you have to say. Bros, well done.
Yes, so my brother, good evening.
I greet you, my brother. So what you have the floor. You have the floor. Let's talk about it.
Okay, my baby is making it. Yeah, so well, for me, regarding this issue of electricity and then fuel hike increase,
yes.
As you can see, I'm sure you are hearing the sound of gen in my area or in my compound now.
It's everywhere.
So there's no light already. Now compounding my problem by buying fuel at an higher price. Then there is inflation already in the country. Prices of goods, food items have increased, and then people are trying hard to survive. You now compounding it with higher prices of fuel, and then increase in electricity tariff is a big problem. There is usually of estimated billion already, and you are increasing the tariff. So Even people are complaining about not being metered. No meet. People are complaining about metering. People are not metered already, and then you are increasing the tariff. So what's the fate of those ones? So what's their fate?
Let me ask you this. I just want to put this straight to you.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Shehu, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I want to put this question straight to you. Do you support the proposed strike action and protest NLC is embarking on from Monday?
We need to activate.
Can you? Oh, the network again.
Voices can be heard.
Did you hear my question?
Yes, I heard your question. You asked me. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm asking if you support the NLC planned action from Monday.
Yes, I was saying that people need to join the protest.
Okay.
They need to let their voices be heard. It's an opportunity for them. You don't need to be silent. At this point, silence is not golden.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you for joining. God
Hello?
bless you. Yeah, Yemi A. Grace is
Hello?
saying, hello, yes.
Yeah, so as I was saying, regarding the fuel hike increase, people.
Wow. So now, if for instance you want to be, if you're given the microphone, I hope you can hear me. The thing is breaking from your end. So I want, okay, let me just.
The business of government to announce the price of fuel if they've totally deregulated the sector. Also, the petroleum industry. How far with it? Yeah, with
if
it.
you're protesting, if you are protesting, for instance, on Monday, if you're joining the protest on Monday, what would you be asking for? Reversal of the prices or refineries?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
What will you be asking for if you're, for instance, you're joining the protest on Monday? What will you be asking for? Reversal of the prices or refineries?
Well, both are good anyway. But for me, those refineries should not be controlled by the government. It should be controlled by private individuals. They should probably privatize those refineries or create an enabling environment for us to have different. Instead of having big refineries up and down, let us have them like I don't know how to put it, like small refineries. You don't have to have the big. Sorry?
Like modular refineries, simpler units.
Exactly. We don't really. It's not compulsory we have big ones. Create an enabling environment, and from there you can even generate taxes. You can even have is a source of revenue for the government as well by generating taxes, royalties, employment for the people as well. So there are a lot of opportunities that lies in that. So why can't we just embrace that rather than we taking our fuel? We take crude oil abroad. They give us petrol in return, and then we are buying every other sort.
Thank you very much, my brother. Anything to round up before I open it up for another person to join? Do you have anything to tell Nigerians?
Well, what I would just like to say is that for citizens to activate their office of the citizen, we don't have to be quiet when we are just like in my school. The school I went to Great Ife. So we have a slogan that says that if you fight, there is a chance for you to win. But if you do not fight at all, that means you've lost the battle. So let's fight, and probably there is a chance for us to win. It's not that certain, but at least they know that we fought. But if we didn't fight at all, then that's the battle. So that's all for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Thank you. All right. That's Yemi, and then Yemi A Grace. Okay, that's everyday show. Sorry, Yemi A Grace. You say Aluta continua, full deregulation and refineries plus transportation palliatives plus meters and implementation of fixed tariff. Quite a list, you hear me? Quite a list. And I'm going to say, obviously and seriously, these things are not in any way out of what is expected. These are in order. These are in order. Food deregulation, because I even had an argument recently about the fact that this deregulation of a talk is just on a lip service basis, because there are no detailed documents to express or say how the regulation should go. You know, the regulation in this case has been used in this context in Nigeria especially, and has been used by government, is they are taking their hands off it. But I don't really think that's the way it is. It goes back to the issue of trust. Do people really trust government, especially over time? I know a lot of people that we even want to slap me for asking that question, because they will tell me, so you don't know before? You don't know before? So let me invite Sonia, Tommy. I'm sending request to Sonia. Tommy, let me see if you are still there. Let's talk about this. It is time for you to talk. That's why we're calling it the Citizens Open Mic. Activate your rights of a citizen. Some people will say, "Una not tired to talk about this country." My brother, if we not talk, who go talk? Okay, so in case you're thinking or trying to think what I'm trying to think, all I'm saying is, it's our country. We have to come together and fix it. If we don't do that, then we will leave it to the hands of those that will help us handle it. Whether they will handle it right, or whether they will continue to handle it the way they've been handling it, it will not be their call, instead of us making it our call. So I'm waiting. Join me, join the conversation. Let me see. You can send in your comments as well. You can drop your comments. Kola Alabi, Kola_Alabi, I see you. Natasha Quincy One, welcome. Green Stand Energy, welcome. Welcome. Yes, me and Shehu don't talk already. Yeah, I've welcomed the Rebet Mind earlier. So please join me, join me. Okay, Sonia Tommy says, sorry, I'm not in a... Okay. But you can send in your comment. You can send in your comment. Let's get to hear, get to know what you feel. Even if you can't join live, drop your comments. I will read it out. And of course, people will read it, and we'll get to see what and what. Timothy Ifena, you want to join? Let me send your request. And oh, okay. Not ready yet. So we are open. We are open. We're almost done with the 1 hour mark, but let's see if we can just do like another extra 10 minutes, so we can cover for the other parts that we didn't quite make good use of, you know. So let's talk about it. It is open. Sheung, don't talk. Sarah, don't talk. And by the way, I didn't have the network didn't give me the time to say thank you to Mr. Kolawole, Oluwadare, the Deputy Director of Sarah. Of course, I'm still going to do a vote of thanks at the end of the day, but I just needed to put that, like, to end the section, that special section with him, so that we just complete for that angle there. We don't hang and keep joining. Let me see your comments. And this question I've always wanted to ask. I don't know if it's a little bit. It's not a digression in any way, because there's another election coming. Ondo State election is coming. The Edo election, Senator_Dio, welcome to the show. Edo State election just was held. Edo State election was held last weekend, and of course we know the result. With the way it went, are we going to say our people? That was of course, the official statement is going to be the people have spoken. But is it really that the people spoke? Because we still heard of vote buying. A lot of observers and a lot of observer group in their reports, they still underline that act. People sold, people bought votes. So can we conclude and say the people have spoken and just take it from there and go to Ondo State, or we should expect that the people may not speak in Ondo State, or still with the power of money, at the end of the day, we can still conclude and say the people have spoken, quote and unquote, if you understand what I mean. So let's talk about it. I've put several topics on ground now. The EFCC proposed amendments of the EFCC Act. Sarah talked about that. Okay, Onye is requesting to join. So let's do this. Onye is requesting to join. Yes. And we are going live with Onye. Oluwamuyide Oluremi, thank you for joining. I see you. Welcome to the show. Like I asked, is it the people that really spoke in Edo? And are we still going to expect the people to speak in Ondo? Because there were still repeated cases of vote buying. What exactly are we doing as a people when it comes to activating our rights? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much all these politicians want to spend or how much they want to buy votes, highest they will give individual, I'm not sure say it will pass 5,000. Or maybe as a coordinator, maybe now you be the contractor. If you collect the big money, make the big money, but last 5K average 2,000. Sometimes they collect 1.5. Major is our side. Like the popular balance then in Ekiti during the last election was Odibosebe. Sorry for those of you that don't understand Yoruba. It's a coinage in Yoruba. It's about you vote so that you get money to cook soup. Okay, Shehu is saying again, yeah, even INEC said there was vote buying. So are we now going to say the people spoke in Edo? Okay, but not at the polling unit. Okay, but the act happened. So sometimes it just baffles me when they say the people spoke, yet we saw report of vote buying. So who be the people? Did they speak through their pocket, or they spoke to their money, or their stomach, or they spoke through where? So we are trying to pattern this so that we can see a direction towards Ondo. If we are still going to expect the same thing, of course, it is certain. The politicians have their formula. We can't run away from that. They have their formula. Is coated in gold. It's gold plated. The formula is sparkling and shining. You can't beat that. But it is left for us to now make the formula non-applicable to our situation. But if you still want it to be applicable, let's go on. Thank you, my brother Rudait Shehu. GRV Lagos joined. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show. I'm still expecting your contribution. Onye, I thought you were joining, but I not still see you again. Still expecting your contribution. Still expecting you to be a part of this. Orioms, you join. Ezenabu, thank you for joining. Jozibo, thank you for joining. You can request to come online, come live. Okay, Onyech is requesting again. Okay, so let's hope we can finally talk about this. This time around is to have a conversation. Yes. Yeah, Joe, I see you. Hello. Hello, Onyech, how are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Did- oh, okay, I can hear you. I can hear you, of course. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. So, I can hear you. Yes. The floor is yours. Now it's breaking. Now it's breaking. Your sound. Your sound. We are the ones selling. Yes, your sound.
Can you hear me? Oh, my network is so
The
bad.
sound is bad.
Yeah, my network is actually bad.
The sound is
Okay.
terribly bad. Baby Ludic, I see you. Baby Ludic, I see you. I think the sound is terrible there. The sound is terrible. Amen Pauline. Amen Pauline, I see you. Thank you for joining. Yes, yes, yes. The sound is really not helping there. The sound is not helping. So we have a lot of issues now that we've talked about. The recent one that we are just on is vote buying. Yes, I can applaud the Edo poll for the relative fact that it was peaceful. I use the word relative because we can't outrightly write off violence from the entire drama that played out and the entire episode. But then we are taking the next step to undo. What are we learning? What are we taking from there? People are still buying votes. People are still selling their votes. Or are we to say people are just collecting the money but they are not selling their votes? They just collect the money and vote their choice? Is it really? Okay, maybe we should even talk in that direction, because this issue of giving people money during voting, sometimes people will say, I collect their money, but I vote who I won't vote. Is it really like that? Captain Blaze, yes, sir. Welcome to the show, sir. It's good to have you on this spot again. Anytime Captain Blaze talk, I dey always stand attention, to really consume those sound heavy, worded presentation. Anytime, any day, Captain Blaze. Thank you for joining. Hello, Ukatu. Hello, Ukatu. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show. You try to join me. Who knows? Network on your side fit dey okay. Not be only here network. Not be only. We have a few people like Shehu tried the first time. Network was bad. Then he tried the second time and it worked. And on the alternative, you can drop your comments so people can read through and see. So talk about vote buying. Is it that the politicians are bringing in their money? Yes, network was really bad. Captain Blaze, collecting bribe or selling your vote means you are a well-fed slave. Wow, another one. I talk as anytime Captain Blaze talk. Na strong word. You see now, another one. So it still goes back to condemning the entire act, whether the buyer or the seller. As long as the money come and you collect the money, you don't contribute to the problem. So that idea of I collect the money but I vote my I vote who I like. Hello. But you collect the money. Did you ask where the money come from? You ask no. So for instance, as you collect the money, you vote who you like. What if other people collect the money and vote for that person? The person can't win. That's now where the money where you collect so from will come be problem, because that money where you collect, some people, some of them they go borrow am for bank. Some na godfather, they press and put for their hand, you know. And once they press and put for their hand, they tell them say, once you win, you sign. In fact, before you even go the election, you don't sign. So return they come. Now investment. So what exactly are we saying, and where exactly are we on this? Time don't they go? We have like maybe 3 more minutes. Damilare Adewusi, thank you for joining. Yes, Captain Blaze. Always, sir. Always. I hope we can have you on this section too soon. Then we'll come talk about all the security issues, because we could not lie. Security na another major problem. Oh. Security na yes, we're all victims, Captain Blaze. We're all victims, seriously. We're all victims. So even if you not even collect the money, or you collect, you not vote. Wait. Just pray make the person don't win, because once he win, I tell you, I will tell you my personal experience. I think this happened in 2011. Yeah, I think the election that brought former President Goodluck Jonathan in. And they not be today vote buying start to. I got polling unit, you know. I say make I go vote. I don't vote finish. But maybe the person assume, because they not approach me before I go vote. I don't vote before they come approach me. So maybe the person assumes, say, I vote for a candidate. Because me, I have my candidate, I had my mind. I went there with my mind. I knew I went to vote for. I may not say that here. So as I vote finish, they step out of the cubicle. The woman just come, they press some people for my hand. Say, make I collect. I say, waiting. He say, make I use and buy recharge card. I say, sorry, I not the collect. I'm not lead, I'm not vest. I come politely, I just tell her, say, make she no vex, say, I'm not lead, I'm not the collect. I'm not the. You don't say the woman, I did with my parents. I think I go visit my parents. I just finish youth service. I can't go somehow. You know, say the woman come our house. Can't tell my mama, say, you don't understand, though. He give your pikin money after vote. So make it take press, buy recharge card. But he not collect am. Wetin happen? Now everybody they collect now. I wasn't at home when she came. But when I go back home, my mom was now telling me. I just laughed. I say, everybody collect, not me say me I go collect. At the end of the day, anything when she hold for her not reach 2,000. So 2,000. We know as at that time, if I say I spend money on a spot, as at that time, 2,000. God. So I don't collect and I can't say they don't sort me. No, nah. So it boils down to your conscience, what you want, because whether we like it or not, the future of this country, which particularly are the children, hey, they said them because now so those people of those days sell us. Now the same way they sell us, now they suffer now. So they said the next generation, they still go see suffer if we not be careful. Yeah, Chike_CEO. Thank you for joining. And this is where I will draw the curtain. This is where I will draw the curtain, and I want to appreciate you guys for being a part of this show. Citizens Open Mic, brought to you by Enough is Enough Nigeria. Once again, I want to appreciate Serap. I want to appreciate the Deputy Director Serap, Mr. Kolawole Oluwadare, for being a part of the show, for contributing your part. Erudite Shehu, thank you. Yomi A. Blaze, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Captain Blaze, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you, sir. And I hope we have this conversation, maybe another topic next time, when Citizens Open Mind comes your way again. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. We appreciate you. My name once again is Ikechukwu Oyemike. I'm a broadcast journalist and I've been your host. I hope we can do this next time unhindered. Unhindered. And I hope one day we'll figure out ourselves again for one room, talk eye to eye, and share ideas. Thank you, Kolawole. God bless you. God bless you. Chika, CEO, I greet you. God bless you guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Oh, a Mekan underscore method. You just joining. Your grace. Thank you. God bless you. Una do well. Una do well. Muna don't mind me. Sometimes I always like play. I play a lot. But I'm very serious. I'm very serious. I'm very serious. I play a lot, but I'm very serious. Oh, Captain Blaze, say, make una no forget to join the protest. Oh, make una no forget to join the protest on Fritz, the 1st of October. Yeah, 1st of October. Yes, 1st of October. That's Captain Blaze saying, guys, it's about time we speak, and let's continue to speak. The people who spoke in 2012 brought about a change. Yeah. If we can speak again, my concern is just the direction of the speaking. That is my concern. So let's speak. Let's speak. Protest against oppression in Nigeria. Thank you, Captain Blaze. God bless you.